Lightspeed Venture Partners has hired Paul Murphy and Ross Mason to head up its push into Europe as Silicon Valley VCs step up the hunt for deals on the continent. The move from the Menlo Park-based VC fund, which has backed Snapchat, Affirm and Epic Games, to put down roots in London comes as funding raising and the valuation of European startups have skyrocketed in the last year. Investors have plowed over $50 billion into European startups this year alone, with the valuation of the continent's most valuable startup Klarna leaping to $45.6 billion in June from $10 billion in September. That shift came as investors stopped viewing Europe as an arbitrage play, with valuations typically lower than American rivals, and saw the potential for British and European startups to become global winners, says Murphy. This is Europe's moment. There are so many amazing companies being built right now by incredible founders, and everything is primed now, says Murphy. The question was not whether we should enter Europe, but should we go big? A generation of European founders who have built experience at, or sold a business, to a Silicon Valley startup, talented developers, and a huge, albeit fragmented market was now driving the surge in valuation, says Murphy. Murphy led investments in Hopin, the events platform that skyrocketed to a $7.5 billion valuation just 2 years after its launch, e-scooter startup Tier Mobility, and video game developer Clom, after joining London-based early-stage investor Northzone in 2018. He also co-founded the video game studio The Dots, which was sold to Take-Two Interactive for $192 million in August 2020, and GIF library Giphy, which was bought by Facebook in a $400 million deal in May 2020. That deal now faces being unwound by the UK's antitrust regulator. Murphy will also be joined by Mason, who will be based out of Geneva. The British entrepreneur had been backed by Lightspeed at his cloud data startup MuleSoft, which was acquired by Salesforce in a $6.5 billion deal in March 2020. Mason will continue investing in cloud, software as a service, SaaS, and fintech startups like Comply Advantage through his Dig Ventures seed fund, and advising Lightspeed. We now have had so many unicorn success stories in Europe. There is more of that talent to run tech companies at scale, and that's helping fuel the next generation of companies be more successful, more quickly, says Mason, Lightspeed venture partner. When I told Ravi Matre, Lightspeed managing director, I'm moving back to Europe, he said, let's find a way to work together, and that's something that's typical of Lightspeed. They are very collaborative. The two new hires fit with the dual focus of Lightspeed.